The purpose of this thread is to describe the non-dual breakthroughs that I had on LSD on Saturday, April 11th, 2020. I'm going to film a video of myself explaining what happened to me, with video clips of me, as God, trying to articulate the experience during the peak. I will post the video when it is uploaded to YouTube. It may take a few days to get it right. Attached is a picture of a tree that I took while tripping, and a picture of the cards that I pulled from my tarot deck after asking, should I trip today? The answer is a clear yes. I woke up at 9 AM and was getting very strong signs to do LSD in the forest beside my house. I had been reading The Universe is a Dream by Alex Marchand and The Religion of Tomorrow by Ken Wilber. My mind was very prepared to have a non-dual breakthrough. I'd been doing lots of self-inquiry and meditation as well. I packed a bag full of snacks and things to last me the day in the forest, dressed very warm, and started heading to my desired location without any food in my stomach. I put one tab, not a precise dosage, could have been anywhere between 100 micrograms and 200 micrograms of LSD under my tongue, left it there for about 10 minutes, and then swallowed the tab. As I was waiting for the effects to come on, I found a nice place to sit and meditate. I felt very calm, relaxed, and excited for what was about to come. After about 20 minutes of meditation, I began staring at a large tree in front of me and was trying to have insight into, what is it? Just as with any contemplation, I was trying very hard to use my direct experience as guidance and to avoid philosophizing. Of course, as you look at the tree for a while, you start to wonder who is the one doing the looking. I tried to train my awareness on the fact that there is no difference between subject and object. The category of subject and object is clearly a fantasy, so I was just trying to be as aware of this fact as possible. As the effects were getting stronger, I felt a very powerful, heart-opening experience. Suddenly, I was very conscious of my chest area and was breathing very deeply and fully into the heart area. My body buzzed with energy. I trained my consciousness on my heart area and realised how my heart space is an infinite void. As I breathed very deeply and fully into my chest, I was becoming more and more aware that the space that this is in my chest is made of pure nothingness. This means that it can go inwards forever, infinitely deep. It is possible for you to become aware, right now, that the space in your heart, especially when breathed into, expands infinitely deep inwards and also expands outwards forever. At this point, it is blatantly obvious that my entire sensory field is made up of the same empty space. We call it consciousness. What's so cool about this pure emptiness is that it is also perfectly full, as it is made of itself. Everything is consciousness, I say to myself with a giant smile. It feels really, really good at this point. The empty space in my heart permeates the entire sensory field, as it always has since emptiness cannot be localized, and I feel divine love and awe for the profundity of the present moment. It's important to clarify that the actual content of my experience barely changed. The trees, the little stream beside me, the sky, it all looked pretty much the same. There were slight visual effects that made everything seem wavy and patterned. When you're in a mystical state, the content of the forms will probably look the same, but you have a direct understanding of what the forms actually are, pure consciousness. At this point, I am only about 45 minutes into my trip. I had no clue what was coming for me. I felt a lot of energy as if I was a young child again. All I wanted to do was run around, play, and explore the beautiful forest that I was in, which is made of me. As I was exploring the forest, the thoughts were very contemplative. I was always trying to direct my attention to the present moment so that I can gain insight into what the present moment actually is. I sat in gorgeous patches of flowers with the sun shining through the trees. It was surreal. Everything is profound. Now it is when it starts to get non-dual. I just finished reading The Universe is a Dream by Alex Marchand, and I was very conscious of my own tendency to project guiltiness into others. A Course in Miracles talks about forgiveness as a direct path to realising your true nature as God. So, for the week leading up to this trip, I'd been practicing forgiving myself and others for all the things that make me angry, sad, or emotionally triggered in any way. The forgiveness that I am talking about is not the typical forgiveness that we are familiar with. You have done something wrong, but I'll forgive you anyway. True forgiveness is about consciousness. I am aware that your existence is a projection of my mind. I understand that the present moment is all that exists, and that you were never separate from me. Therefore, I forgive you. You could never be guilty of anything. I forgive you. I fully accept you. I embrace you exactly as you are. I love you, because you're literally me. The non-dual breakthrough was triggered by fully forgiving myself for anything that I have ever done wrong. All of us carry guilt with us. Guilt is the belief that you are imperfect. Guilt is the belief that you are separate from God. Guilt is the belief that you are vulnerable, limited, bound by time and space, unworthy, even evil or bad. So I tried to find a part of myself that I hated, despised or disowned. I thought of myself getting into trouble as a young boy and being forced to sit in the principal's office. In the principal's office, I had to sit there and think about all of the things that I have done wrong because I was a bad boy. There was a part of me that actually thought I was a bad boy and that I was guilty of doing something wrong. But there was also a part of me that knew that I was innocent. This thought actually began to trigger a non-dual awakening within my consciousness. I realised that my true nature was the timeless self, pure nothingness, pure love, pure innocence, pure being. I started screaming, "I am innocent! I am innocent! I am innocent!" What was so astounding and so powerful was just how innocent I truly am. I realised that I could commit mass genocide and still be as innocent as a newborn baby. My true nature is pure innocence, untouched, untainted awareness, one without a second. Purity. I could rape and pillage millions of families and not even acquire a scratch of guilt on the perfect jewel that is my innocence. Just the idea that I could ever do anything bad or wrong made me die of laughter. I actually died of laughter. Pure bliss swept my heart, and I experienced what the sages call unconditional love. This literally means that if I was able to meet Adolf Hitler during World War II, I would give him a big wet kiss. What a perfectly innocent and beautiful manifestation of God, made of me. Self-love. My self is pure being, infinity and nothingness at once. The entire cosmos. And love is the totally selfless embrace of me. So self-love can also be phrased as universal embrace or selfless love. True love can only be experienced by formless being. This is because having one particular form, like a human body, comes with the side effect of having an ego. Therefore, anything that threatens my ability to continue being a formed thing, a separate self, will feel the wrath of my hatred, rejection and repression. Luckily, I am a perfect formless being. Pure awareness. Being so pure and formless, I have the total freedom to take any form that I want. After all, the mechanism of creation is pure thought. If I can imagine it, it exists. The universe is created by God, or nothing, or me, making distinctions which are made of nothing and grounded in nothing within myself. I laugh when it is said that proclaiming yourself to be God is egoic, selfish or arrogant. It's literally the exact opposite. Being aware of your true self takes ultimate selflessness, pure detachment, pure innocence, pure humbleness. The best part is that you are God. Hello, hi, you wrote this post. The formless witness that I am is the exact same formless witness that is in you. That's why hating another is always a form of self-hatred, rejection of yourself. Imagine a newborn baby, so pure and innocent, it hasn't even made a distinction yet in its mind, let alone the distinction between good and evil. It is very difficult to hate a newborn baby because it's such a pure manifestation of being, pure awareness. But now, remember that as the baby grows older, it will always be pure awareness, perfectly innocent. There may appear to be a veil of selfishness, egotism, greed, evil that develops as the baby grows into an adult. But remember always, that is a projection of your own selfishness. The baby has always been completely and totally innocent. Even if that baby grew up to be Adolf Hitler, its innocence would remain untouched. Now realise that all bad or evil things are a projection of your own self-hatred, rejecting a part of yourself. Your separateness is projected onto the world and onto other people. A sage who has purified himself of his own selfishness sees with Christ consciousness unconditional love for all beings, because all of being is an equal manifestation of your supreme self. You are the imperishable one. Nothing good or bad has ever happened to you or anyone. How could pure nothingness ever be affected by anything? It is everything already. At this point, my body was overwhelmed with power, freedom and love. I jumped up and down and screamed like a monkey. I smashed sticks against trees as hard as I could. Why? Just for fun. There's nothing else to do here in this present moment except for realising who you are and having fun with it. Other insights from this awakening included, I am. This is the highest and most important insight because it captures the essence of non-duality. Self-realisation is forgiving everything that you hate. The awareness in me is the same awareness in you. How do I know? It's what I am. I see you. Consciousness cannot be mainstreamed because pure innocence is fertile soil for the projection of guilt. Pure innocence is true authenticity. For me to be fully authentic, I would have to be conscious of my true nature as God. But although I am totally selfless, it is very easy for egos to unconsciously project their own guilt, arrogance and ignorance upon me. Check out many of the negative comments under Leo's I Am God videos. Thankfully, this projection makes me laugh and laugh and laugh, because I am conscious that I am the only one who is projecting onto myself. Consciousness is powerful, absolute freedom, dangerous for the established social systems because it sledgehammers rigid belief systems. The heart is the seat of the soul. It appears as if the source of awareness is right at the very centre of your being, the heart. Live from this place. And finally, a distinction is a distinction. I was still peaking as I began to continue walking through the forest. It was a beautiful day, and other people were out walking as well. I was in a very vulnerable state, and was afraid of making eye contact with people. Whenever I walked by someone, I felt such a strong urge to look them in the eyes so that I could share my love. But each time, I was afraid of being judged by them. I must have walked by 10 different people, and each time I was super awkward about walking by them. It was a good time to contemplate, what is an other? Finally, I wanted to make eye contact with the last person I passed. It was a father with a baby on his shoulders. As I walked by, I awkwardly smiled at them. I looked up at the baby and made strong eye contact with him. "How's the view up there?" I asked jokingly. The baby and I locked eye contact. At this moment, I realised instantly that I was looking directly in the mirror. The baby's gaze was totally pure and free of self-judgment of any kind. I was staring into my own eyes. I recognised myself instantly, and he recognised me, which is the same. I kept walking and came to a wide open field where I was able to relax and enjoy my elevated consciousness for the next few hours. I called my friend on the phone who has also had non-dual experiences, and my friend realised that he was getting a phone call from God. It was awesome. Occasionally, if I wanted to experience ultimate rapture, I would train my awareness on my own purity. I would remember how innocent I actually am. Instantly I would fall to the floor and scream and laugh hysterically. I'd fall on my back with my legs over my head and die of laughter. I would literally perish in my own innocence. In my bag I had packed with me one very small book. I'd never even read this book before, but something told me to bring it with me. At this point, I took the book out and opened it. The Spiritual Teaching of Ramana Maharshi, published by Shambhala Pocket Library. I'll leave you with some extremely powerful excerpts that took my trip to a whole new level. Reading these words as God for the first time, even though I wrote them, was one of the peak experiences of my entire life. Let these words echo in your consciousness. Questioner: how can I attain self-realization? To which Ramana Maharshi responds: realization is nothing to be gained afresh. It is already there. All that is necessary is to get rid of the thought, I have not realized. Stillness or peace is realization. There is no moment when the self is not. So long as there is doubt or the feeling of non-realization, the attempt should be made to rid oneself of these thoughts. There's a lot more, and the user actually linked to the website, and I'll stick that in the description so you can have an inspection of it. This is not the exact dialogue. I believe the full dialogue can be found in the book Be As You Are. However, I just stumbled upon this beautiful synthesis of the teachings. The essence is the same. Thanks for reading. Hopefully this inspires you to remember who you are.